What you're about to see can only be described as an all-American cryptid, something so complex that the human brain struggles to even fathom what it might be. But unlike the Epstein files, we can't just ignore this evidence. No siree, we have to look it dead in the face and ask ourselves what it's telling us. Just as a little preface here, the officer kind of stumbles upon this guy like a hiker would stumble upon Bigfoot in the woods. But unlike a Bigfoot interaction, this officer's gonna get a lot more than a picture of a furry fella scratching his ass in the woods.
Deputy with the Sheriff's Office, what's going on tonight?
Yeah, we're having some issues with the vehicle.
You're having some issues with the vehicle?
Yeah, it won't start up.
It won't start up? What's wrong with it?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Yep.
You can hear an incessant beeping in the background. Makes me think that maybe he got EMP'd or something. It's really irritating the piss out of me. Honestly, if I were the cop, I would have shot the car just for that shit. God, it's so fucking annoying. But it turns out that the aliens that built the pyramids coming down to steal his spark plugs is actually the least of his problems.
Yeah, for sure. It wouldn't go.
It wouldn't go?
Yeah. Like, I put my blinker on, I tried to go.
How much you gonna drink tonight?
Had 1 or 2 drinks.
Okay.
This guy has the speech patterns of a 6th grader who's giving his first presentation in front of his class. So I kind of feel like I have to call hooey on his 1 or 2 drinks call. Like, I think that might be some horseradish. I'm not gonna lie to you, sports fans. The officer ropes him into doing some field sobriety tests, which, while we watch this guy kind of stumble around like a lost toddler for a little bit, I thought I'd tell you a little fun fact about myself. I actually have a genuine fear that one day I'll get pulled over, and I don't drink for context, but I'm scared I will not be able to perform this field sobriety test, like, normally. Like, no snorting, no drinking, no fucking boofing, nothing. Like, I don't know all the field sobriety tests off the top of my head, but I know for sure that one of them is reciting the alphabet backwards, and I'm fairly confident that, gun to my head, right now, I couldn't fucking do that shit. Like, hell, you could go kidnap a fucking preschooler and they'd probably have better odds than I do. Then again, if the barely conscious crusader here can keep doing it, I guess I'm probably fine. Eventually, our little acrobat here passed through that test, no doubt with flying colors. So he gets the sheer another privilege of moving on to the next test, which I'm pretty sure is something I did in middle school. The officer even gets his timepiece out here, so you know he's getting real serious. I'm genuinely surprised he didn't call in backup just so he could get a second pair of eyes with a timepiece, you know, just average the two, make sure it's real accurate just in case he hits the world record. As you can see here, he gets all the way up to 31.8, which is really probably a contender for the world record. I'll get back to you on what the Guinness Book of World Records says back to me. If they ever get back to me, that is. I've been fighting with them a while about the world's farthest cum shot world record. Eventually, the cop moves to arrest the guy, which seems like a subversion of justice to me, but I'm no lawyer. But surprise, surprise, he hit us with the best fucking movement tech you've ever seen. His afterburners are so strong that he literally outruns a taser, which I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that moves faster than light, so you know he's hauling ass. Just listen to those footsteps. That guy is basically the Flash. I'm pretty sure they slowed down the footage, that way it was visible to the human eye. So instead of making you listen and watch perhaps the longest video game cutscene ever, I'm gonna speed it up to what I imagine it looked like when you were actually there. Congratulations, you just gotta look at the pure peak of human ability. But as impressive as that was, you're gonna see something even more impressive. Something that truly stretches the ability of the human mind.
The deputy located Andrew several times during the foot pursuit, but he continued to ignore commands and run off.
Get out of here right...
Like I said, he truly does look like a cryptid here. If you looked me in the eye and told me this was Bigfoot, I would believe you. I wouldn't question it for a fucking second. It really is astounding to me that this guy didn't do, like, the bare minimum of actually going into the bush. He just fucking, like, got there and was like, ah, this is good enough, and just stood outside it.
Get out of here right now.
And just like that, he was gone when we needed him most. Just like my ex's dad, he fucking de-atomized himself. That's one of his superpowers. Luckily for our alleged criminal, The officer's pretty out of breath here. He's run a full marathon and a half. No disrespect to him, of course. I get to wheezing just from pulling my pants down to jerk off. Thankfully, though, the officer does get a little bit of assistance. I don't know if you can tell here, but if you look really closely, you can see the gnome on this guy's driveway kind of point out where the guy's hiding at. It really was a saving grace to the officer because this guy's adopted the legendary "if I can't see you, you can't see me" approach. Something which always catches myself and shit-eating toddlers alike. I'm sure this officer was no exception without all that gnomish assistance. Also, luckily for the officer, he's able to just hop back in his car and cancel the cutscene and then re-engage it immediately once he hops out. So that was a pretty neat game feature, I thought. Go do this to point out two things. Firstly, what a Looney Tunes ass scream. Like, it sounds like when you're playing like a C-list game on Steam and the voice actor just goes like, "I've been shot up." I'm doing facial expressions and acting like you can actually fucking see me. And secondly, I think our dear cryptid is actually the real winner here, because there is no way in hell that that officer ran through all that and didn't get some sort of fucking poison ivy. I guarantee it. But eventually they do manage to catch this guy. I'm sure he's in an SCP containment facility to this day. The government's probably studying him so they can develop technology for our next-gen fighters and tanks. But this is another one of those things that was just floating around in my brain, and I'm hoping someone else might have enjoyed it as well. Fuck off.